Welcome back to People. I'm Shirley Lin. Today my guest is Fanny Hsu, who is the director of Coretronic Culture and Arts Foundation. Now, earlier on, we were talking about just how she spent 18 years abroad, and that you were into galleries, art galleries, and auctions. You know, I have a question for you, though. I'm just really curious. Was there ever any time at a formal auction that someone yelled out and said, "This is fake"?
Not on the auction day, I hope not.
I meant on the auction day.
But yeah,
no?
but I think if it's
never
a right
to
auction,
you.
no, never. But if it's a right auction, we always open for discussion. Because professional, someone asked me what's an expert. I think expert is someone who's made all the mistakes they can make. Then you become an expert on things.
True.
So I think it's okay to be open and to have opinions, to welcome different opinions, but you come down to a conclusion. But even the world famous experts cannot agree on one famous painting or another, but you do the best you can, and there's different ways, you know, like what I mentioned before, the training of your eyes and the careful research and scholarly research that can help you to the conclusion, I hope.
Oh, wow.
Never on the day, I hope.
We cross our fingers, never ever. Really. Well, there was a program. Actually, it's still going on. It is a program called the Wanderer Program, kind of started by Cloudgate, and in fact by the founder, Lin怀who was a famous, worldwide famous dance choreographer. So what is this program? Because in fact, it's this program that brought you back to Taiwan.
Yeah, I think it also changed lives of many people, artists and social workers here in Taiwan. It's a program, like you mentioned, started when Lin怀老师received a national award for the art in 2004. So he gave the money back to the Cloudgate Foundation and started this program. It was at the time, I think early on in his lifetime, he had a chance to travel to India and was very inspired by it. So
a lot of people do after they make a trip to India.
Yeah. So he wanted to program Lin怀老师early on in his lifetime, spend some time self-reflecting back in India. So in 2005, so 第一届, the Wonder Program started. So the purpose of the program is to inspire young artists in visual art, performing arts, movie, literature, or music to be able to go outside of Taiwan to explore. But there's several conditions. One, you have to travel independently and in a backpacking way, and it has to be one of the countries within Asia.
Okay.
So that's quite interesting. A lot of people ask why within Asia. I think it was Lin怀老师realized many people when they travel, they will go to places like New York or London, major cities, but not many people travel within Asia to understand cultures that's closer to Taiwan.
I think maybe that's because we all think that if it's all Asian, they're all kind of related and kind of similar. So we want to discover something that's really very different or opposite from you know the Eastern art. So that's my guessing. I guess that's why. But that's interesting within Asia. But then I thought that maybe because then it would only require a smaller budget as compared to travel.
And maybe that's
so
another
that you have more,
condition.
you know, people having the opportunity to be a wanderer and discover that country or that country's culture. Anyway, so go on.
Yes. So back in 2009, when I came back to Taiwan, I realized I don't really understand the Taiwan culture. I've been away for so long, and I need to be reminded of who I really am, and to know more about Taiwan. So I remember on the grant proposal, I wrote, I don't need to 流浪 again. I've been 流浪 for the past 18.
You've been a wanderer
almost
for
2 decades.
Right.
Yeah. Even though the program specifically states that it's outside of Taiwan.
Right.
But I told them, I don't think I need to travel outside. I need to come back to my hometown, Taiwan, to really understand and explore Taiwan.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they gave you a stamp of okay.
Yeah, I'm very lucky.
Yeah, an exceptional, you know, right, opportunity for you. Great. So, what did you do?
I called the journey after I finished the 2 months travel called看听. Ting, I think it's a pause in life to slow down for me, to really kan. But I think it's not with the eyes. To see is to see it with my heart. Ting, I think we spend a lot of time talking, listening, of course, but never listening actively. So I gave myself a break of 2 months to actually travel to different places I rarely go, and to do all those things.
Wow, that was very well said. Yeah, a great perspective.
Yeah. So
2 months.
2 months. But the funny thing is, I never get so nervous traveling to places I've never been. I spend time backpacking in South America by myself for 2 months.
Okay.
Never get this agitated or nervous. But because abroad, you can always buy a travel book, a guidebook.
Right.
I can tell you, okay, where to stay, like Lonely Planet, and the major tourist sites.
Right.
So you can follow the instructions and you'll be all fine. But I know in Taiwan, I don't want to be a tourist. I'm from Taiwan. I want to really learn about people like in Tainan, people in Kaohsiung, people in Taidong, or even people on Orchid Island, how they live, what they think, what are their passions, and how they go by daily life. So at first I was really nervous because there's no guidebook that tell you how you do that.
Is that one of the regulations? You're not supposed to bring a guidebook?
No, there's no regulation. Only you have to travel alone. But I think it's a very, very smart condition because when you travel alone, you have to talk to other people.
Right. Yeah, that's
You
true.
don't have a friend or a company you can chat with.
Right.
So you get to immerse yourself into a brand new situation.
Yeah, well, that's
and
so cool.
to meet the locals. So I think that's one of the rules I gave myself, that I don't want to do a tourist trip. I want to actually live there for a long period of time, and to live like the locals, and to understand them and to hear their stories.
So how long did you spend in each place then? How many days?
About 10 to 15 days.
Oh,
but
really?
in Taidong, I spent almost a month there. I think that's a place, a beautiful place. I send pictures to friends overseas. They can't believe there are places like this in Taiwan. But there's so many places that we don't realize how beautiful they are within Taiwan.
Right.
Practically nowadays, you know, you have a little break in between job during the work days. I tell friends you don't need like 2 weeks off to Europe. You just spend a week, find a place in Taiwan. They can be as beautiful as you imagined. Yeah.
And it looks like you didn't have any reason to be nervous because you apparently, after you spent one night at a certain place, or maybe like a B&B or a friend's place or something like that, that person will introduce you to the next place to spend the following night.
Yes.
And because a lot of foreigners in Taiwan say the Taiwanese people are very, very friendly.
Yeah.
But you, it seems like you as a foreigner coming back to Taiwan, that's how you've discovered that Taiwanese people are very friendly. Yes. You had no reason to be afraid and to be worried.